hello, I'm back reviewing Black Clover Volume 6. Okay, so this one, most of it is just the ending of this little arc that the last book set up. And it's also the reveal of the main villain, Licht. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Where he's, as far as we know, the leader of the Hour of the Midnight Sun. He actually do kind of like his design. It's pretty detailed. And so they had managed to defeat Sally and then falter the spatial magic issue they have. Brings the two of them to the cave, which it's apparently an old lab of theirs. And they try and rescue Sally, because I think she's only going to be gone for just a little bit, but she's gone for a lot longer than they thought. He ends up badly wounding Sister Teresa and then Needs. And as you come to find out, he apparently hadn't wounded Ghost as badly as the healers thought. And I'll get into that a little bit. He goes to try and fight Asta, and then Yami appears with Fenrol. And then we finally get to see him fight. Well, up until this point, the only captains we've seen a few of the captains fight in the previous arc. And then we get him and a little bit of his backstory of him coming from another country where he was apparently out fishing. His boat, I think, was got caught up in a storm, and he ended up on the shores of the Clover Kingdom. It was called the Land of the Sun, where it's based around Japan. So he uses darkness magic, which we have not seen anything like it up until this point. And we also get a little bit of the Eye of the Midnight Sun's motivation, where they're basically trying to remake the Clover Kingdom full of the discrimination that's running rampant in the country, that's done to all the cameras by the nobles. For nobles are just wasting their wealth. And then we also get more fight scenes with the other captains. We also get the introduction of Jack the Ripper, who is the captain of the Green Praying Mantis. We haven't seen him in a while, not since the opening chapters with the one examination. And so Noelle had been left behind, and she got the message to the other captains. And the Black Bull side was apparently a lot closer to this, so Yami and Fenrol came. And this is also one of the slightly annoyed moments I have with Fenrol. He's a magic knight, but he seems more annoyed at staying around to help out and try and fight. And it's just more concerned with almost running away almost. Just even though I know that goes for his personality, I think it's just he's more than willing to fight. He sees the danger, and even though he ran away at first to protect Marie, he ended up being convinced to go back and fight, and ended up kind of getting a little bit of character development to make all of the doubles of Asta to fight the Barrow, which is something he's never done before, so I think it's just... And he also seems to be a bit more useful. Fenrol, so far he really hasn't done anything, and he was kind of complaining, sees that the people are dangerous, and is gonna run away and leave his captain behind, I think it was. And so I did the kind of how they managed to defeat the leader the first time, where they're back at the town, they're healing everyone. Sister Teresa survives, and they all start giving their magic power to Ghost because she's the least injured. And so he convinces Fenrol to go back, and the Licht, he's about to summon a bunch of light magic to attack Asta and Yami. And they get there just before this happens, and Ghost summons this giant mirror that bounces the light back at him so fast that he couldn't get out of the way. And this was before the other captains showed up. We also get the introduction of these three generals, basically, named Raya, Rhea, Vito, and then Fauna, who's actually the friend from Mars's backstory. They were in the Diamond Kingdom together, and she was the last person he ended up fighting, and when they're doing the experiments, they ended up taking her magic and combining with his magic. And so it seemed like she somehow survived that. I don't think it's explained in this one, but she ended up somehow surviving. It doesn't seem like he knows she survived. I don't think she ever uses mineral magic, but I think it was a... But I think a Grimoire has the same design as Mao's, where it looks kind of like cut up a little bit or like pieced together. Or maybe I'm just imagining it. Yeah, I can't seem to find the picture of a Grimoire, so maybe I'm just imagining it. But yeah, it also seems like she's pretty different from how she was acting in the flashback, where she seems a lot more emotionless than she did when Mouse remembered her. And I think she's even using the same spell as she did, the Phoenix Recovery Robes. Yeah, I think she only uses her fire magic. And then by the end, they've defeated them. Well, Asta ended up, like, basically using the fact that he has no magic to, like, sneak up on the licht and attack him, since nobody can sense him because he has no magic. And, like, nobody even thought of that until it happened. The lead ended up going out of control, and then the three generals had to, like, get his magic under control and then teleported him away. I think they also brought Felter, the special magic user, with them, but I may have missed it. But I think they did, because they never mentioned bringing him back to the capital. And they all go back. Marx, the Julius's assistant, ends up talking to Asta about breaking the curse and sell it and the other guy so they can look through their memories. And so my question is, why didn't they do this before? Because they don't mention how much time has passed since this happened, but I'm assuming it hasn't been that long because of how quickly the plot is progressing. So it seems like it's only been like 2 weeks or something. Why didn't they ask him to break it beforehand? Because I think they already knew that there was a block on their memories and that they couldn't access them. And he was in the capital at that time, so I think they maybe just forgot about it until later on, or maybe they thought they could try and break it and they only asked him until later on. I think maybe they just forgot about it because there was so much stuff going on with the Hour of the Midnight Sun refilling themselves. Frigolion ended up being injured and in a coma. The capital was attacked and they were trying to... I don't know, that kind of confuses me. Because like everyone knows she has anti-magic and can cancel out magic and curses and stuff, so why didn't they do it? This volume also introduces some mysteries. Well, one of them is that Licht, for some reason, seems to know Ghost, even though Ghost doesn't know him. He was saying like, oh, yo, come back, you remember me. And also, Ghost's inches were a lot less severe than the others. Well, I think he only been in when Licht attacked, he summoned like light blades, and it looked like Ghost's only happened in like his shoulder and like his knee, I think it was. Well, everyone else was like pretty badly injured. And also Licht seems to know the names of Asta's swords. All these he calls them by the Demon Slayer sword and the Demon Dweller sword. And he also seems to know who had his Grimoire before Asta. Because we kind of find out in the last chapter that when someone is like bonded to a Grimoire, if they pass away, then the Grimoire also like disappears. But then we get Asta's Grimoire, and it came out of like a wall. So for some reason, it didn't disappear with the previous owner. They stuck it inside of a wall, and I already had the sword inside of it. So like whatever happened to it, they had either somehow severed the connection between the Grimoire and the person. It's also the idea that a 5-leaf clover Grimoire has a demon dwelling inside. So maybe that has something to do with it. Something was going on with this Grimoire and whoever had it before him. Because when the Grimoires come, it looks like a spell appears when it bonds to someone, but I think all of them are supposed to be blank. But then Asta's already had like writing inside. So this film starts to add more like mystery. And also at one point, I forgot to write it down, but Luke was saying something about like another master, and Nocel was he had come along and he was saying what she's talking about. I thought he was the master of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, because that's what all the intel was saying. He was the one who showed up at the previous hideout to try and get everyone away, and Julius ended up injuring his one arm, which we end up seeing like wrapped in bandages. So yeah, I do for the most part like the plot progression. Well, is it maybe going a little bit quickly? Kinda, yeah. But it is kind of nice getting some more stuff happening, and also just getting more stuff with the Eye of the Midnight Sun, with the introduction of the leader, and seeing more like members. And so yeah, I thought there's just like a good when I did like the battles. Well, like I did like seeing Yami fight. I liked seeing more of the captains fighting, even though I kind of wish we had a bit more scenes with them fighting. And it is kind of a coincidence that Yami uses darkness magic, which is the natural like counter to light magic, which is what Luke uses. So I thought it was like a pretty big coincidence that he shows up to fight the guy he can counteract, and you can kind of like counteract him, because light magic is, I believe, one of the fastest magics there is. Well, darkness magic is the slowest, but Yami is able to counteract it with also being a swordsman. So he's able to like cloak his sword in darkness and use it to like slash attack stuff. He can also do like black holes, I think, to suck stuff in. And also, I think it's also to like direct light towards it. And also can like use reinforcement magic. Oh, and I also forgot to mention Fana also has the Fire Spirit Salamander, which looks just as you would think, as like a tiny kind of like dragon looking creature, like basically like a lizard. I do like this. This one's pretty good. I think that's everything for now. Okay. Peace.